Hello, welcome to episode 6. For so long I felt intimidated by the manufacturing process and I thought it was something that only big businesses could do, but when broken down into simple steps it's actually pretty straightforward. So I'll break this video down into 3 parts. The first will be what's involved when designing your products for manufacture. The second will touch on how I go about finding the right manufacturer, and the third will be my most invaluable tip. So when designing my products for manufacture, there's 5 key things that I keep in mind. Number 1, when designing my garments, I keep in mind the customer demographic. For example, my demographic is around the ages of 15 to 28, both male and female, and they're people that like going to festive events, people that like having fun, and people with positive and bright personalities. This means my garments will feature big, fun graphics, modern silhouettes and colourful fabrics. It's also important to recognise which climate your demographic lives in. So in Australia we have a range of different weather conditions, so that means my fabrics will have to be thick and comfortable, yet malleable but also breathable. And once you know all this sort of information, it makes it easier when you go to source manufacturers in terms of what fabrics they have and what manufacturing capabilities they have as well. Okay, so preparing a tech pack is another fundamental step. Here's a hoodie tech pack that I use for my most recent hoodie order. Tech packs include vital information like fabric colour, graphic placement, print styles, special features and your order quantities. For this one I just took a photo of a blank hoodie, overlaid my design on top to provide a rough idea of what the final product will look like. If you don't have a blank version of your product, just use an image off Google instead. So next is fitment and sizing. In my experience, I've found that many of the manufacturers don't have the exact sizes or fitments that I am after. To help this, I usually take their size chart, get a sample and then adjust the values as I need. As for my shirts, I did a complete custom size chart based off of some shirts that I already had and shirts that I already liked, so that's another option as well. Next thing to look at is your tags and product packaging. For mine, I designed a range of different woven labels to suit the different products that I'm making, whether it be shirts, hoodies or hats. Many manufacturers will also be able to provide packaging solutions, including hang tags and custom packaging bags. Finishing off your product with some nice packaging and tags and stuff is a pretty cheap way to add a lot of value to your final product. And last but not least, I think it's important just to, in the beginning, keep things simple. Once you get a hang of things, then you can venture out into more complex and intriguing designs. But when you're just starting out, I think it's important just to keep it simple until you get the hang of things. So now for the second part, which is sourcing supplies. Personally, I use Alibaba. I've just found that the interface is super easy to use. You can just message the manufacturers directly. And because their payment systems are all quite intuitive, it means you've got a history of all the payments that you've made, and that becomes super easy to consolidate when it comes to tax time. Once you've picked a marketplace, you then need to gather information. It can be quite intimidating and confusing when you type up, for example, t-shirt and 100 different options come up. And the only way to sift through this is to just start messaging the manufacturers directly and getting as much information of their products as you can. I find that there's slight language barriers sometimes, but eventually you'll figure it out and you'll find exactly what you're looking for. Third is to ask for more images. 90% of the time, the images that they show on their products are not theirs. You always need to ask for some secondary images, either on a mannequin or as a flat lay, just so you can gauge if the product that they're advertising is actually the product that you want. There's nothing worse than ordering a sample and it's completely different to what you thought you were going to get. Fourth is the cost. The prices that they list on their products are usually the bare minimum blank costs of the products. And if you want anything truly customized, then it's going to cost a little more. So it's always important to ask that question and ask what the sample's worth and then ask a proposed quote for a bulk order. Make sure you ask for the shipping rates and the estimated shipping of your bulk order, and then also don't forget to convert the currency into your own currency. After I've sussed out what the cost per unit will be, then I can decide if it will be an appropriate manufacturer for my products. The prices of products will vary in correlation with the product quality, but I've found for the most part general items are priced all within the same ballpark no matter what supplier you go with. And last but not least, sampling. Once I'm confident with all the information I've gathered, I'll order the sample. This is where it gets a little bit expensive, but it's an absolute necessary part of the process to make sure that when you do your final bulk order, you know exactly what you're getting and you don't waste much more money on getting the wrong product. So those are my 10 steps to break down the whole process of manufacturing. But I will say the number one thing to keep in mind during the whole process is that this stuff takes time and you need to have patience. It's not uncommon to get poor results here and there, and sometimes it will make you feel disheartened and unmotivated. But as the saying goes, nothing of value comes easy. And on that note, if you made it to the end of this video, please give it a like and subscribe for the next episode. Catch you later. Peace.